Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kirsten, and today I'll be doing another book review, part of my series. And today's book is going to be Esperanza. Let's get into the video. Okay, so today's book is Esperanza Rising. The author is Pam Ryan, and the illustrator is Joe Sepideh. This book is actually 20 years old. It was published in 2000. The genre is novel, biography, and historical fiction. It has received many awards, including the Jane Addams Children's Award. It is also takes place in the 1930s and switches between Aguascalientes, Mexico, and California. Somewhere in the middle of California, it switches places. So the story starts with Esperanza. She lives in a lavish home in Aguascalientes, Mexico, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and she has a really nice life. And I believe right before she turns 13, her father dies. Her house catches on fire and everything's gone. And that's terrible, right? Right before your birthday. Then because her father was, he had money, he had people working for him, and he actually had people living on the land property as well, and they are friends of the family. They're very nice, and you'll get to see and grow with them as well in the story. So her uncle is a very mean uncle. He says, hey, you know what, if you want to be supported and you want to live, your mom has to marry me, and we're gonna do that. And the mother did not want to marry somebody literally a few days after her husband died, and especially not her husband's brother. So that's really sad. And Esperanza is just really sad as well, and they what, we have to escape, let's go to California, and we're gonna work there and we're gonna live there. So they come as migrants to California, the friends, family, and Esperanza and her mother. And they go to California, and it's very hard for Esperanza. The whole entire story is like her learning how to live, because she had such a lavish life before that. It's so sad that she has to grow to do something else, and because people are not doing things for her, she has to learn how to do things herself. So she has to learn how to do that. Okay, so now the author. The author is Pam Ryan. She is born in 1951. She was born in Bakersfield, California, and attended the Bakersfield Community College, and then attended the San Diego University. She has written over 40 books, including Echo and Freedom Rising, and she is one of her most popular, as I mentioned, was Echo, and she's received many awards before. She's been a recipient of the NEA's Human Civil Rights Award and the Virginia Hamilton Literary Award and the Ludington Award. So as you can see, that's many awards. She's also had many other awards that I have not mentioned. She took a break after, and she raised her children for a few years and then went back to school to get her master's degree in post-secondary education with the intention of teaching children's literature. Okay, so now to the illustrator, Joe Sepideh. He received a BFA in illustration from the California State University in Long Beach in 1992. He also studied engineering at Cornell University. He is an award-winning illustrator of picture books, such as What a Truly Cool World and Nappy Hair. He has received his recognition of the Merit Award for 2000 from the George G. Stone Center for Children's Books. He has illustrated many books you probably have read, and I really love what he did on the cover of the book of Esperanza Rising. I really love the way she's sleeping, I guess, almost sleeping or just it looks like she's in a dream almost, and I just love the depiction of her on the cover of the book. It's just amazing. Okay, so now on to my personal thoughts and views in this book. So I personally love this book so much. I actually got this gifted from my aunt and uncle, and they actually gifted this book to us. I believe they bought it somewhere, but what I found was so interesting. I always study my books. It was actually signed by the author, Pam, and I was just like, wow, that's amazing. And especially after I read it, I became such a fan. I was like, wow, I actually have a book signed by the author. So that's pretty amazing. I believe my siblings were like, well, what do we do after night, because we're like bored. So then we're like, okay, you know what? So we're like, what's the bedtime story? And we found this book, and then we're like, oh yeah, why don't we do this one? So we go ahead and we read it every single night, and we just enjoyed it so much. So we read this book every night, and it just concluded every day, made it such a wonderful day, just to conclude with a beautiful story. And this story was especially really nice. I believe I mentioned this one in my last book review, Lost Girls of Paris, because I actually read Lost Girls in Paris right after I did with the book Esperanza Rising, and that's pretty cool. That was amazing. And I really loved this book personally. I loved enjoying and reading and seeing her story play through, and knowing that it's basically true, the story. It's written off the author's, I believe, grandma, and when she was young, she would just her grandma would tell her stories of how she came. And there are a few things that are different inside the story than in real life, but I believe it's really nice, and basically what could have happened when she went to came here in California. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and that you can give a thumbs up to this video, you can share it, and I hope that you can subscribe to this video. I absolutely love doing book reviews, so if you want to give me a book to read, those are always welcome, and I might feature it in my next book review.